For the last 60 years, I've been struggling against that. In the government, when we were outside the government, in the resistance, we were always striving to depend on ourselves. Therefore, this unfortunate phenomenon where people have vaccines and they say, no, we must first vaccinate our own people. That's unfortunate, but I like it because it works you Africans. Africans are a disgrace to ourselves. Why do you have to depend on the outside for everything? Life, you depend on the outside. Why? So, even before this crisis, I was always struggling with our people. Ebola started here. We are the ones who suffered from Ebola. Why would anybody else develop the vaccine not of Ebola, not ourselves? Why? This is a big shame for Africa. And within the government, you know what we are doing. We must develop, and we are developing with our funding, Uganda government funding, a pathogenic industry to make even a business out of our diseases. If we are the ones with the diseases, why don't we make a business out of them? At the same time as we provide the cure. Now, the only thing I want from outside, if the vaccines come, good. If they come, we shall welcome them. But more importantly, we are developing our own vaccine. And I've been following every day what our people are doing. And they can do it. They have the knowledge. We have trained you. Many of you are highly educated. Ugandans started education long ago, modern education. The only little issue I would like to ask from our German friends and other friends, if they want to help, are sometimes the raw materials for this vaccine. Because of the economies of scale, sometimes it is not economic to produce every raw material, every input. It is sometimes cheaper and quicker to get some of the inputs from outside. So give us those inputs. But my people have been getting problems. It seems some people don't want Africa to stand up. So I'm glad you have this organization. You discuss, frankly. Let's get the support of we shall pay. We don't want to for me, I don't want any donation. No, I will pay. But if I want my people, for instance, I will give you one example. My people wanted cells to grow the virus here. These cells apparently originally came from the African green monkey. Apparently the green monkey has got some cells which are good for growing the virus. So clever outsiders took the cells and multiplied them. So when I quarreled with my people, you people, how can you sit here as if you are imbeciles? That we are dying, we are waiting for foreigners to come and save us. We shall die until the foreigners come to save us. What sort of people are you? And you are trained. It is the orientation. It is a slave mentality. My people now started trying to get the sales now. They are nowhere in Africa. You can imagine in the whole of Africa, there were no these green monkey sales, which originally came from Africa. And my people started looking here, looking there, looking there. A lot of struggle. And some were wondering, you Africa, what do you want the sales for? You stay there and wait for other people to make the vaccines. I said, no. We must get them. If we don't get them from the ones we think are friends, we shall find another way of getting them. And we got them. So my people now are moving. But they need some other raw materials. Even this morning I was checking with them. Please, if you really want to help Africa, get us those raw materials. We shall pay. I don't want any help from anybody. I will pay. I will pay for the vaccine if it is already done. I will pay for the raw materials. And in the next 1.5 years, we shall be standing up in all these areas. We shall be having our own vaccine. We shall be having, we already have our own diagnostics. We already have the therapeutics. The therapeutics. We may help the world. We are moving very well there. The therapeutics. So therefore, for me, there is this prepared speech here where I say, I'm happy to see you and so on. But I'm telling you my thinking now. So, this selfishness in the world is bad, but it's good. I like it because it wakes up Africans. It wakes up Africans. It's a shame that the whole of the African countries is just asleep, waiting to be saved by others. If they don't save us, we shall die, like happened with the slave trade. How can this be? Slave trade went on here for 400 years. These idiot chiefs were here just putting on monkey skins and so on, looking like clowns. So therefore, although this is bad, but me, there is a good thing in it, to wake up the Africans. So I go back to the written speech now. We know, do I have to go on with the speech or I end here? Have I not finished? Let me read what they have written here, just in case I forget something. We know that the ultimate solution to COVID-19 lies in vaccinating all our people. But even the vaccination, when you vaccinate, there's a new variant. I think you'll have to discuss this, because when you vaccinate, there's a new variant which is now, you'll tell me how you handle that mutation of the virus. The government, with the help of the African Union and other partners, will fast-track the acquisition of sufficient doses of vaccines to cover the entire population alongside efforts to develop our own vaccine. That one is the one I am really working on. We are continuing to talk with India, the USA for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, China, and Cuba. The importance of medical research cannot be overemphasized. Progress in medicine depends largely on the work of medical research. Research into the causes and treatments of illnesses is perhaps the most important weapon in the fight against disease. As you saw in the new government, I transferred that ministry to my office, the Minister of Science and Innovation, because I was not happy with the red tape by those who were involved. Would be very far on the vaccine if we had not wasted our time. Research into traditional medicine is particularly important in Africa in making good use of our naturally and richly endowed environment. This part of our world has got all the biodiversity. And since ancient times, those people who are sitting with you, my guests from outside, these Ugandan scientists, many of them are from the countryside. And in the countryside, our people have some indigenous medicines. Now, what is happening is that because these people get scientific knowledge through education, they then go back, say, oh, but our people were doing this. What was in it? And you will be surprised about the potential there. The potential is quite big. Now there, we need to agree on the patenting, because of course this is not the one who brings the indigenous knowledge and makes it available to the wider society, to the wider world, does something, but that knowledge is not his. It is the community knowledge. So how do you handle this in terms of patenting? So the countries in Africa, Asia, and Latin America use traditional medicine to help meet some of their primary health needs. In Africa, up to 80% of the population uses traditional medicines for primary health care. The age-old cures that kept our forefathers disease-free must be given enough attention so that we improve on them and preserve their use. The government remains committed to funding research and innovations by our scientists, especially those in the universities. We have demonstrated this by earmarking a number of 30 billion shillings. This is small. We shall increase it. To Makerere University Research and Innovation Fund, this is for Makerere alone, I think, However, I challenge Makerere not only publish but translate research into products that spur our industrial development and catalyze pharmaceutical industrialization to stop the massive dependence on outside pharmaceuticals. We want tangible results, and our ordinary Ugandans have hope in our scientists to come up with solutions for different ailments like cancer and many other diseases. With the therapeutics, one of our products has been tried among some patients, and most of them have fully recovered, while the others are still on treatment. That's for one. For one, we target to reach 124 patients before we are sure that this medicine treats COVID-19 patients. I salute the few outsiders that helped us. I therefore appeal to our regional scientists to work together and put up a united front. Making a vaccine involves 9 or 8 phases. If WHO allows you to skip one phase. Our researchers are now entering stage 5. We hope to get to stage 8 by November 2021. I can assure you that by the end of 2021, we shall no longer be waiting for outsiders to rescue us from mass death. The role of science and innovation is recognized from the pre-industrial and other stages of the Industrial Revolution between 1750 and 1830, and is still key to the 4th Industrial Revolution today. There is strong evidence indicating that all the developed nations we see today came to be what they are because they invested in science and research and stimulated their population to be more innovative, built enterprises and industries to produce goods, services, and solutions to address societal challenges. A scan of the developed world indicates that science, technology, innovation, and research enabled economies to increase productivity, reduce costs, improve product quality, and gain a competitive advantage. While civilization started in Africa, the biggest problem was that it was never institutionalized and regulated. It remained an individual tribe's skilled trade. For example, we have skilled people in Uganda called Abahesi blacksmith. This is a whole industry that has not been developed. Mineralogy, gemology, the science of dealing with gemstones, as we continue exporting our minerals in raw form. This may also explain why we have missed the first, second, and third industrial revolutions. As Mwalimu Nyerere said, Africa needs to run while others walk if we are to catch up. Some parts of the world are on the verge of the 4th industrial revolution, while many parts of Africa have not entered the 1st industrial revolution. As we usher in the 4th industrial revolution, where the physical, biological, digital technologies are converging, we are seeing technologies like artificial intelligence, robotics, biotechnologies, etc. These technologies are efficient and can innovatively be used to address societal challenges. For example, scientists have used modern biotechnology to come up with plant varieties that are resistant to drought, pests, and disease, and rich in nutrients through biofortification. Technology and innovation are very dynamic and developing countries cannot afford to lag behind or to go through the whole revolution cycles to the fourth industrial revolution technologies. This can only be possible by establishing strategic partnerships with the advanced countries like Japan. All the countries that have transformed their economies in record time have done so through deliberate and focused strategic partnerships, such as Japan, working with the USA. China and Korea have all leveraged strategic partnerships and technology transfer in the field of science, technology, innovation, and research. Finally, I wish to assure everybody that we are optimistic and we shall overcome this challenge of COVID-19. As I have mentioned several times, our scientists, doctors, researchers, innovators, etc., will move Africa to another level scientifically. It is now my honor to declare the World Health Summit regional meeting in Uganda officially open. I wish you all a good stay and fruitful proceedings. I strongly urge you to continue observing the COVID-19 standard operating procedures. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Please again, let's join our hands and thank His Excellency the President who's made it happen for us for this conference. Your Excellency, we thank you very much for being a good father and more specifically looking at issues of health, which has got to keep your people live and kicking. The co-host of this conference is Makerere University, the government of Uganda. And now, as we want to move into the high-level discussion, I take this opportunity to invite the co-host, that is the Vice-Chancellor of Makerere University, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, to come and be the chair of this session and give a brief as well. And this is going to be a bilateral engagement between Dr. Tedros from Geneva and His Excellency, the President. And in this session, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, the Vice-Chancellor, will be supported by Professor Ibingira, the International President of the World Health Summit, and Dr. Damali Nakanjako, the Principal of the College of Health Science. Now I invite Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, the Vice-Chancellor of Makerere University. Professor Barnabas.
Your Excellency, the President of Uganda and visitor of Makerere University, the First Lady and our Minister of Education, Honorable Ministers, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, all participants, the Director General of World Health Organization, ladies and gentlemen. I have been requested to chair this session where Your Excellency and Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus are going to dialogue on the issue of vaccine inequity. When I was listening to the Director General, he was expressing concern about what some people have called vaccine apartheid. But Your Excellency, you are saying it is good because it is waking us up. And on that note, Your Excellency, before I invite Dr. Tedros to start us off, let me just make a comment about this issue of waking us up. 2 years ago, you came to Makerere University to inspect an exhibition, agriculture exhibition it was. And you say, finally you seem to be waking up. Indeed, Your Excellency, because of your persistent encouragement and criticism, Makerere University woke up. COVID-19 specifically showed how Makerere University has woken up, and we have referred to some of that. With the first injection of the 30 billion shillings, the innovations coming out of Makerere surprised even me. And I'm saying, where were we all this time? We have contributed tremendously to looking for solutions for COVID-19, but also other diseases. As you are aware, Your Excellency, we have started now the manufacture of our own vaccine, anti-tick vaccine, to solve a problem which has been bothering our farmers for a long time. We are going to begin producing the diagnostics that you talked about, again with the support from the government. The Preside, which you set up. With Preside support, Makerere's university's research infrastructure has been modernized in the last 1 year. We now have labs which are at par with any lab anywhere in the world. And we actually now have no excuse why we must not excel. And as you are aware, Your Excellency, Makerere University has a new strategic plan. We have a vibrant council which is pushing us to move science to the next level, to begin not just, as you have said, not just publishing, but actually coming up with products. And with the support of council, with your visionary support, with the support of our minister, and we want to thank you, Your Excellency, for reappointing our minister. She is very passionate about Makerere. She is passionate about higher education. With her support, we are now on the move. We want to pledge and assure you, Your Excellency, that the money given to us will be put to the best use to ensure that we support your government in moving this country out of poverty and out of marginalization. That we can assure you, Your Excellency. Now, I think the participants are very eager to listen to both you and Dr. Tedros on this issue of vaccine apartheid, if I can use the word which I've been seeing all the time. You have your points on one side that it is a good thing, and Dr. Tedros saying, no, this is not fair. So, may I now take this opportunity to invite you, Dr. Tedros, to start us off with this discussion on vaccine apartheid. What is happening and what can we do? Dr. Tedros.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Barnabas. On the vaccine, of course, as you rightly said, some people call it vaccine apartheid, others call it vaccine nationalism. But as I said in my speech, it's very clear that there is vaccine inequity. And that's causing a two-track pandemic because some countries have better access to vaccines and the situation is getting better. Others, low-income countries who don't have access to vaccines, their situation is deteriorating. So I fully agree with His Excellency the President when he says, let's use this as a wake-up call. And in my speech also I said, Africa should not really depend on others for essential things like vaccines, not only COVID vaccines, but even other vaccines too. So we need to invest in Africa, and it can be done. And I fully agree also, I have seen the potential when I visited Uganda Virus Research Institute in June 2019. I have seen many good things that really can help Uganda and can help Africa to do better in, identifying, starting from testing viruses and developing the tools to fight them. When I visited the Virus Institute, my attention was on Ebola. And as you know, Uganda Virus Research Institute actually has contributed a lot for Ebola.